Okay, we should be live. Let's see if Twitch on my phone loads. Also, I'm going to refresh this page.
Okay, we should be live.
Hey, that's working.
See if Twitch on my phone loads.
Where is that working? Oh, it's working here.
We should be live.
Don't want feedback. Okay, load up chat here. Welcome to the chat room. Perfect, got that on my phone. Let's see. Refresh use so I can have a chat backup here. Okay, I'm going to turn off. You're kind of low. Ah.
Turn off.
Hey, turn off again. Okay, I think we're ready to begin. Although this says that I'm offline, but the stream is healthy. Sometimes these stats can be a little bit odd to read. But okay, I've got chat over here on my phone. I've got chat here. So I'm going to leave you up. Let's come over to Code Wars. Okay, so let's turn the brightness up on you too. We did array.diff. Let's do another kata here. Good morning, Averus. Definitely not offline. I know Twitch. Is it off? It was online. Nope. Still offline. I don't know. I feel like the difference between streaming on YouTube and streaming on Twitch, like each of them has strengths and weaknesses, and I just wish they would combine. Like they would each steal each other's stuff, so that way it would be perfect. Okay, so. Until then, I figured my internet situation is basically no internet at home still. Plugging my router in and everything, just getting I can't find anything. End up going on tech support for a while last night, with the end result being, I think that even after you did the official move thing, we're going to have to send a technician out to actually go like flip it on the outside of your house. And it's like, So that's a little bit sad. And then they said the first time that an engineer can come out to do that is on the 5th of June, which is Tuesday. So today is Friday. This weekend I'll set up a bunch of stuff in my house. Monday and Tuesday I'll stream from here. Well, probably Tuesday I won't. Probably Tuesday will be a no stream day because I'll have to stay at home to wait for the engineer to come. Is this what it? Please reload the page. Also, I have no idea why Code Wars has been sort of weird for this. I don't know if it's because they really don't like Firefox. I should try it on Chrome. Yeah, because this is just taking forever. Of course, it doesn't help that I'm forced to be on Wi-Fi here. I don't even see a port for an Ethernet cable in this room. But on top of that, I don't have my USB. Okay, so retry for a live version. Okay, 5xx error. Code Wars is down. That's lovely. Okay, let's find other Code War style sites. What do we have out there? Challenge websites. So there's Top Coder, Project Euler, HackerRank, Code Wars. Let's try CodinGame. Wait, okay. That just did a Google search for it. Okay, step of a game, new way to improve your programming skills while having fun and getting noticed. I'm going to continue without an account for right now. CodinGame lets you improve your coding skills with games. It all starts in the IDE where you'll code and test new ideas. Can I choose the language here, or is okay? This looks suspiciously like C. Yeah, C++. This is your mission statement. Solo multiplayer coding games are turn-based. At each turn, your program gets new inputs and must output the action. Okay, got it. Choose a programming language. Rust? Rust! Time to code. Okay, let's tell your program to shoot the closest alien. Copy-paste this code at the right place in the code editor. Well, wait a second. Oh, interesting. It's using prints to determine where to shoot the enemy. So use standard in-out, macro rules, parse input. So are these trait type things? I'm not familiar with these, but I sort of basically kind of maybe look a little bit like the traits that we deleted from that other one with Code Wars. Then we have our function main, game loop. Like, are they going to take our code in and are they creating? Is this like a macro or something that they've created? I don't know where loop came from. Macro rules defines a new macro. Oh, cool. So parse input. So is parse input the new macro rule? That's my guess. Okay, so it's basically taken in this expression and the identifier, and they're taking whatever it is, they're trimming it and parsing it with the type and then unwrapping it. Okay, that makes sense. And then we have loop here. Oh, loop is just an infinite loop. Okay, perfect. So they call it game loop, but it really is just a Rust infinite loop. Let mutable input line equal string new. So create a new string, IO standard in, read the line, mutable input line, unwrap, enemy 1 equals, okay, so we're finding on input line enemy 1. So I guess they're going to be handing me all of this stuff, like the enemies and the other information, and the distance. So this is going to be an I32, which is distance in pixels maybe, or just some arbitrary distance. Name of enemy 2, distance to enemy 2. Okay, so if distance 1 is less than distance 2. Okay, so yeah, we just want to see like, hey, we're going to print line which enemy. So we print out which enemy we want to hit. That's fine. So write an action using print line message, enter in the code here. So what I want to do is, first of all, is this readable and is my image? Okay, so the camera is not in the way of that, but can you read the text? Yeah, there's usually already code to read all the input. Have you played this, Averis? I've not really heard of this one before. Okay, so if we have dist1 is less than dist2, oh, that's sad. It didn't auto close the block for me. Okay, so if dist1 is less than dist2, then I want to I almost want to do also a text could be a bit bigger. Let's try that. I'm also going to try putting my image over into the left-hand side. Okay. All right, so if dist1 is less than dist2, then that means we're going to print line. So print line this macro, just the first enemy. Enemy 1. Otherwise, print line enemy 2. Take a look here if you're interested. Is that a YouTube link for this game? We're going to print line enemy 2. Okay, got it. Let's check your code. Games have test cases to make sure you've solved it properly. Run your code by playing a test case. Okay, play the test case. I'll probably take a look at that video after the stream. I'm a little bit worried about playing videos and everything on stream because of the bandwidth, and the Linux machine seemed to be barely holding it together. Okay, here is the game your code just played. Something went wrong. Try again. Wait, hold on. You lose immediately. Okay. Oops, your code did not pass. Edit your code or click on the refresh and copy paste given. What did I do wrong here? Okay, so if dist1 is less than dist2, print line enemy 1. Oh, how did I miss this closing one? Both of these. I guess I'm so used to it auto closing everything for me because of editor stuff. It's another streamer that does semi-regular Rust streams with CodinGame. It's his channel. Ooh, okay. I will go check that out after the stream. I'll add it to my list probably. All right, let's try it again. Is there sound? I don't think so. Perfect. Your code destroyed the closest alien on each game turn. Got it. You're ready to learn, code, and play. Submit your solution to verify the robustness of your program in different situations. Now let's play much more advanced coding games. I could sign up with GitHub. What do they want? CodinGame wants to access my account, my email address. Okay, that's fine. Authorize. Welcome to CodinGame. My name is nobody. That's great. Okay, next step. Also, cookies go away. Am I a professional coder? Let's see. How many years of experience do I have? It's 2008. I began doing system administration, automation coding in 2008 to 2010 is when I really started doing that solidly. So 8+ years. Yeah. What do you expect from CodinGame? Learn new language, just have fun with coding, learn new algorithms, improve my skills by practicing, learn how to code a game. Let's just do improve my skills by practicing. Okay. Improve your coding skills with the following puzzle. The Descent. Okay, let's do it. What will I learn? Loops. Solving this puzzle makes you understand the concept of loops. Okay, I mean, this seems pretty cool. So, solve it. Destroy the mountains before your starship... Okay. Destroy the mountains before your starship collides with one of them. For that, shoot the highest mountain on your path. Rules. At the start of each game turn, you are given the height of the 8 mountains from left to right. By the end of the game turn, you must fire on the highest mountain by outputting its index from 0 to 7. Okay, so got it for test code. So basically what it sounds like is we need to go in and we're going to take, is it a vector that they're going to give me? The while loop represents the game. Each iteration represents a turn of the game. Where you are given inputs, the heights of the mountains, and where you have to print and output the index of the mountain to fire on. The inputs are given automatically and updated according to your last actions. Represents the height of one mountain. So for I in 0 to 8 is usize. Input line, standard in, read line. So they're getting from standard in whatever it is. That mountain H, mountain height equals parse input line. So definitely going to be an I32, so that makes it easier. Try an action using print line, message to debug, print line. Oh, cool. That's okay. So that's the index of the mountain to fire on. So I guess they're not. These are just strings, aren't they? I wonder if it would be easier if I put this into a vector, and then I can iterate through, then I can order it. So if I take, yeah, because this is type vector, this is type string, isn't it? Input line, mountain height. Oh no, mountain height represents the height of one mountain. Parse input line I32. Yeah, so I'm going to try this. Let's try debugging. So it's print line. What is mountain? Then like that. Mountain H. Okay, so if I run with that, play test case. I've reached level 2. Wait, how do I keep coding? Console output. What is on mountain? Stream error cannot find mountain H in this scope. Oh, because it's done inside of this for loop. think that's the problem. Can I... So is it just going to be one thing? Let's print that there. Let's try it again. Okay, so console output, debug and errors. Let's destroy the mountains to secure landing. Height of mountain. What is mountain? And then it's, okay, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I think a pretty standard, like if we inside of our, we want to do this inside of loop, right? So inside of here, we can say, okay, let mutatable, this needs to be a string, right? But mountain h, I'm not really sure what that is. Is it an I32? It probably is. Okay, so let mutatable mount index to destroy. Index to destroy. And we can set this initially to 0. And then we want to go in and check, hey, if the mountain is greater than this, so if mountain h is greater than index to destroy, and I might have to tell this to be an I32, so that way it doesn't yell at me, but we'll see. Okay, so if mountain h is greater than index to destroy, then index to destroy equals mountain h. And at the very end, we're going to print line index to destroy. All right, let's try it with this. Invalid command sent. It should be an integer from 0 to 7. Well, height of mountain. Oh, that's the problem. Height of mountain. So I need to. I probably use something like a tuple. So instead of just like 0, it could be a tuple of 0, 0, where we have maybe like the index and the height next to it. And I could probably use, it might also be good to use a enum here, so that way I can have like a named type with it. But let's just try this for simplicity. So if mountain h is greater than index to destroy, what is it? Is dot 1 to access the tuple? Dot 0, dot 1. And then index to destroy dot 1 will equal mountain h. But also index to destroy dot 0 will equal I. And then we want to put out I. All right, let's find out if that dot is, nope, I cannot find you I in this scope. Oh, right, because well, hold on, I don't want to do I want to do index to destroy dot zero. Well, it did the first one. Okay, I think it's doing it correctly. Okay, that's decently cool. So it survived that one. Let's try scattered mountains. That looks like it still ended up in the same general order, but it's going through those. Let's do strong mountains. Okay, it looks like it's just going fine. It's whatever is highest at that point. There's a bunch of these. Oh, they also have one mountain. All right, I think that's working too. All the tests pass. Oh, there's play all test cases. That's probably what I wanted to do. Let's submit this. So, turn down the volume for that. Keep coding. Reached 100% score. Reached 50% score. Wait, was that it for that like entire challenge? There was not like I was hoping there was like a story for that, but I guess not. Okay. Coders strike back. Distances multi-agent optimization. What will I learn? Optimization, neural network, multi-agent distances, trigonometry. This puzzle game starts with a step-by-step tutorial that will help you get familiar with CodinGame's multiplayer games. It provides an easy introduction to bot programming through Starship Race. The aim of the game is, of course, to win the race against other players. To succeed in this challenge, you'll be able to use the different mathematical concepts such as trajectory calculation, collision, speed, vector, or inertial. The game is very simple to start. Rules are very easy to understand and it only requires a few lines of code to move your ship around. So it feels it was like, okay, simple, full AI. Are there... Oh, that's in compete. Was I in practice before or was I in compete? Power of Thor. There is no spoon. All right, let's do some of these. Oh, there's actually some interesting sounding ones. So there's conditions, arrays, loops, and conditions, strings, arrays, and loops. Oh, that is cool. So they like sort of tell you the thing that you're going to do. All right, let's try this Power of Thor. Your program must allow Thor to reach the light. I hate how it like loads that afterwards. In the more involved games which feature PvP, you will most likely hit a wall sooner or later due to CodinGame not compiling in release mode. Oh, okay. So for Rust, that is, right? Maybe for that one, I would want to like switch over to another language. But that's actually good to know. Well, I could play around with the non PvP stuff. Your program must allow Thor to reach the light of power. Rules. Thor moves in a map which is 40 wide by 18 high. Note that the coordinates x and y start at the top left. This means the most top left cell has the coordinates x equals 0, y equals 0, and the most bottom right has the coordinates x equals 39, y equals 17. Once the program starts, you are given the variable light x, the x position of the light of power that Thor must reach, the variable light y, the variable initial tx, the initial ty, the starting y position of Thor. At the end of the game turn, you must output the direction in which you want Thor to go among. Okay, so north, northeast, south, southeast. These are just like, okay, the characters or the strings. Each movement takes makes Thor move by one cell in each chosen direction. Victory conditions, you win when Thor reaches the light of power. Lose conditions, Thor moves outside of the map. Initial phrase, Thor starts in a map of position 3-6. The light is at position 3-8. Note, do not forget to execute the tests from the test cases panel. Beware, the tests given and the validators used to compute the score are slightly different in order to avoid hard-coded solutions. Well, yeah, that's kind of what makes sense. Game input. The program must first read the initialization data from the standard input. There's a lot of instructions here. Okay, so line 1. Wait, what line 1 are you talking about? Certainly not line 1 here. Constraints. Output for a game round, a single line providing the move to be made. Response. Okay. Maybe they changed it by now, but for the streamer linked before has been pretty frustrating at times. Yeah, I could imagine that, like, if you're using the language that they say that is available to use, and then it just doesn't work, that does seem a little bit odd. I mean, they should either fix it or remove Rust from the list. Okay, so this is just telling him to go southeast. So what we want to do is we have light x, light y, the x position of the light of power. So these are all I-32s. So this is basically a vector. And we can do vector math to figure out where to go. So if I remember correctly, do we subtract? Because if I take the current, now of course this is initial, right? Yeah. So the game loop is going to be each time. So this is not going to change. I'm going to need to track Thor's position throughout it, because that's going to change. But I can use that with a vector, and by vector I don't mean a Rust vector. I mean a math vector of x and y. Then I can use vector math with this x and this y in order to subtract it and get the line towards it. And oh man, it's been long enough that I'm starting to forget how to do that. Obviously I could just say, like, hey, if you're less than this, then you just move up like that. And let's just start it off the simple way, which is like, hey, let's just check to see if we're greater than or less than. It'll be simpler than just. It'll be a little bit less efficient than using true vector math. Okay, so I kind of want to set up Thor's current position as well. So let's put that in here, which is a let mute Thor x. And we don't really know what this is, right? Well, we can it is set to initial tx, initial ty. So initial tx, let mute Thor y equals initial ty. I just don't want to use any of the initial stuff here because these are the ones going to change, and I don't want to have to say, hey, if it's the first turn, then do something else. Okay, so beginning with this, and we have the light. We can basically choose. We can say, okay, if we're to the left of it, we need to move right. Okay, so let's try saying if we are, and this is starting with 0, 0 and going down. So if if Thor's x is to the right of light x, we need to move left. So that's going to be a greater than. So we can just have a simple if statement here, which is if Thor x is greater than light x, then what do we need to do here? We need to move left. But also, so southeast, right, because then we might want to move in a diagonal too, because we could say like, hey, what if we need to move left and we need to move up? Well, that should be northwest. So maybe in here we can have a let move left. We could create a vector of, so this would be interesting. We can create a vector of the moves and just sort of like bring them all together at the very end. So if we need to move left, so let's try that. Moves is going to be equal, and we want this to be mutable. So mute moves equals the vec macro, and it's just empty. Then in here, we can push this onto it. So we can say moves.push, and we're going to throw in here, we need to move. Thor is greater than it, so we need to move left, that's west. Otherwise, we need to move to the right. However, I noticed that one thing here. This won't take into account if Thor is already on it. If he's on the x-axis, then we just need to move up and down. We don't want to move left or right. So this might be an else if here. Else if Thor x is less than light x, then in this case we want to moves.push east. Okay, so that's my move on the x-axis. Then we're going to have the y-axis. So this will be exactly the same, but in a completely new block because I want them both to be happening at the same time, essentially. So if Thor y is greater than light y. Okay, so greater than means Thor is down from it, so we need to move north. So moves.push north. Else if Thor y is less than light y, moves.push south. Okay, so now I have this vector of potentially two different things. I'm guessing 0 things if we're right on top of it. We need to then combine this into a single string. So I bet that there is a way to do that off of the standard library, right? So Rust vector, like sort of collect from an iterator, can put it into can put something into a vector. Maybe there's an opposite. Documentation, vec. Okay, so vector here. I don't see anything off that. Okay, so new with capacity from raw parts. It results in a vector. Shrink to fix, into boxlight, truncate, probably not what I want. No, it doesn't return anything. It just changes it. As slice, set length, swap, remove, insert, remove, retain. Okay, so then there's methods from the dereft. As pointer. Then there's iter, so maybe I can do an iter that sort of like combines them together. I'm guessing I don't want split. I'm going to return to split. Returns an iterator over subslices separated by elements that match predicate. The match element is not contained in the subslices. So it does return an iterator, so maybe I can like do something off of that. Yeah, but I want to turn it into a string. To vector to ASCII. Oh, that is ASCII. To ASCII lowercase. Returns a vector containing a copy of this slice where each byte is mapped to its ASCII lowercase. Do not need that. There's the trait. Is there anything in here? Okay, I don't think there's anything in here, but maybe off the iterator. Returns an iterator over the slice. If I click on that, can I then sort of like join them together as part of the iterator? Okay, so trait implementations, double-ended. Fused iterator? An iterator that always continues to yield none when exhausted. So I don't think that's what I want. Okay, so what else? There's filter map, there's flatten. Flattens one level of nesting in an iterator. Is there examples for that? Probably not what I want. Looking for something like this. Okay, you're in. Oh, I should just come over to this chat that I have. Is chain, is that what we're looking at? Yeah, method chain. Takes two iterators and creates a new iterator over both in sequence. Chain will return a new iterator for which will first iterate over values from the first iterator and then over values from the second iterator. In other words, it links two iterators together in a chain. So basic usage. Let mute iter equals a1.iter.chain a2.iter. Since the argument to chain uses into iterator, we can pass anything that can be converted into an iterator, not just an iterator itself. For example, slices implement into iterator and so can be passed to chain directly. Okay, so if we have these two slices, slice1.iter.chain s2, but then that just makes a single iterator over both of them. Yeah, because then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, well, we have, but I'm going to have a single vector. So at the end of it, it's going to look like this. It's going to be like southeast. Well, south, east. And what I want to do is I want to come into this and join it together to be a single string. I did some work myself, so don't listen close to the stream. What do you want to do? So the chain thing is interesting, but yeah, for this one, I want to join them together into a single string. Now, of course, I could do that myself, but I'm guessing that there's something built into Rust that'll do this for me. Probably not map, right? Takes a closure and creates an iterator which calls that closure in each element. Yeah, I don't want to do that for each thing. I want to sort of reduce it down. Step by chain zip. Zips up two iterators into single iterator pairs. That's not what I want. Map for each. Filter map, enumerate. Creates an iterator which gives the current iteration count. No, that's not exactly what I want. I see you could either print the separate parts using print, which doesn't add a new line. Well, so that's if I iterate through that in that way, right? Create an iterator that yields its first n elements. What I guess I really want is to do the equivalent of a reduce in it, which is take a vector, so iterate through a vector, hand that to a function, and then basically say, okay, I want to collect this one and add this one to it. So mutator push into a string. Well, you know what I could do? now that I think about it, I don't really need to use a vector for this. I mean, I am because it's right here, but that's just my first thought of it. I could actually use a string on the heap like this. And then we'll just, push to that. So moves to push, and then I just have the string that's that. So I don't need to do anything. Now it is just a single string. So now print line. So I think this was easier than I was making it out to be. I was just trying to make it too clever. Okay, so in this case, we're going to now take our string and I'm going to print moves. So let's see if this works. Play all test cases. Expected value found struct string. On line 26, let mute moves equals strings.new. Did you mean string fields? Oh, I missed the second colon. Let's try it again. Did I click it? Okay, so mismatch types, moves push W, expected character, found reference. Yeah, I could definitely turn these into individual characters. I don't think there's a problem with that. Can I do... Nope, that did not do what I wanted. Can I alt? Nope. Okay, let's try this one. Play alt. Hey, it works. Easy angle. Expected a movement of one of north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, west, northwest, but found west, south. Oh no! Oh wait, do I have to... I just have to put the Y first. That's all. Let's try it again. Yep, so now it's easy angle, it's going down. Ooh, okay. Failure. Thor wandered off the path and died. Invalid position. Thor position 718. Light position 017. You know what I'm not doing? I'm not tracking. I'm not like updating Thor's, like actual Thor's position with this, which I think is causing it a problem, right? Because like, hey, if Thor is this one, we also want to say, so move, push this, and then Thor Y. If we're heading north, we're going down one, so minus. So minus equals 1. Otherwise, if we're heading south, it's plus 1. Thor Y plus equals 1. And then Thor X, the same thing. So Thor X, if we're going left, it's minus equals 1. Thor X plus equals 1. So let's try that. Okay, not too surprising that those are still working. Optimal angle also works. Okay, perfect. Also, I no longer see what it's doing. And and then he's able to get to this the light of power. Perfect. So then we're going to submit. So many achievements. Okay, but we got through it. We saw what we did. Next step. Okay, so it is 8:14 today. We've been streaming for a little bit under an hour. We had a little bit of trouble because I got my bike and I'm riding into work because I don't have the internet set up at home. I kind of have to come here in order to stream. Tuesday I won't be streaming because I will be, staying at home waiting for the internet to be fixed for me. And but Monday I'll be coming in and streaming around 7 a.m. Mountain Time. If you follow my Twitter, which is linked down below in the stream description, I usually tweet out right before I stream. And if I can't stream at all, I will definitely tweet that out as well. I also have a YouTube channel where many of these are being sort of put out. I think I can put this one out because we actually got some interesting things done. And also let everybody know what's up and why I haven't been putting those videos out in the last week. But hopefully I will have a streaming/recording studio set up in my house soon, and with internet, then I don't have to ride my bike first thing in the morning to be able to come and do this. So with that, thank you again for stopping by, Averis, and anybody else who's watching. I hope that you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.